So this question here begins by asking, what was the total running time in hours? Okay, sounds good. So what was the total running time in hours? So we want a total. And so my party people, the word total, that's going to hint at what operation typically? Yeah, typically the word total is going to hint at addition. Yeah, we're trying to add everything up. Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and try to add up all of this, specifically running time. That matters. Again, it's not just about the operation, it's about the context. So what we want is the total running time. All right, cool. So to get that, we have to understand all the different times that we're running for, add that all up, and we'll be all good. So with that, here we go. It says a generator ran for 7,200 seconds, then it rested 15 minutes, and then ran for another 30 minutes. So the total running time, what is that going to be? The total running time is going to be right over here, 7,200. But that's in seconds. And we're going to be adding that with the 30 minutes. So my party people, quick question. What doesn't matter here? The answer should be the 15 minutes. We rested for 15 minutes. We rested for 15. So we're not going to count that. So let's concern ourselves only with 7,200 seconds and the 30 minutes. So here, 7,200 seconds, my party people, we got to turn that into hours. And we're going to have to use two conversions. So number one, we have 1 minute being equal to 60 seconds. And then we have 1 hour being equal to 60 minutes. Right there. So with that, what we're going to do when we trace over the operations that we're going to be doing, whether it's multiplication or division, it's going to be division twice. Because here, to go from seconds down to a minute, that is division by 60. And then once we have the minutes, to get to an hour, we got to divide again. So we have to divide by 60, then divide by 60 again. The conversion between seconds and hours is 1 hour equals 3,600 seconds. So hopefully, if we don't have any sense or understanding of the 1 hour to 3,600 seconds conversion, hopefully dividing by 60 twice still makes sense. So let's go ahead and get it going here, my party people. So we can either divide by 3,600, in which we do. If we do, how many times does 36 go into 72, everybody? How many times does 36 go into 72? Yeah, exactly twice. And because we're dividing, we know that we can cancel those zeros out. So that's how we can see that it's 72 divided by 36. It's like looking at, it's like looking at 100 divided by 50. That turns into 10 divided by 5. So with that, we have 2 hours, but we still have the plus 30 minutes. My party people, how can we re-represent 30 minutes as hours? How much of an hour is 30 minutes? Yeah, 30 minutes is the same as half of an hour. So we can add that as, again, 0.5 hours. So boom, we can convert that right there on the spot. And that gives us 2 hours plus half an hour, which is going to be 2.5 hours. And there we are. That's how our answer becomes answer choice C, 2.5 hours. So here we go, next question. So the goal and the purpose of this question is to figure out what the ratio of flour to butter is. Okay, that's all we want to know. Again, we're going to write that down immediately. We want to know the ratio of flour to butter. The reason that this is actually a problem is because when we take a look at the statements here, we're going to see that this baking recipe, it calls for a ratio of flour to sugar, not flour to butter. And then in the same recipe, it gives the ratio of sugar to butter. Again, there's the butter, but not the flour. Here's the flour, but not the butter. So we have a little bit of an issue. So because of that, what we want to do is we want to go ahead now and write those ratios out. We have flour to sugar being 3 to 4. And then we have the recipe of sugar to butter. That's going to be 4 to 7. So when we have this and we take a quick little peek, everybody, what do we notice is the same between these two ratios? What do we notice is the same between those two ratios? Sugar. We see that sugar is being compared by both ratios, and we see that the value for sugar, what do we notice? Are the values for sugar the same? Are the values for sugar the same? Absolutely, yes they are. And because they're the same, we can actually just do a direct comparison. We can just overlap that nice and easy, because guess what? Because it's nice and compared to the same sugar value, flour and butter can be compared together nice and easy. So we have flour over here at 3, butter over here at 7. We wanted flour first anyway, so the correct answer is 3 to 7. And that's what's going to give us here answer choice B. All right, and there we go. All right, so reading this new question here, it says, what is the width? Right there. So I'm going to just highlight that and say, okay, my focus is the width of whatever object or shape I'm dealing with. So it clearly says from the get-go that we're dealing with a rectangle, and this rectangle has a perimeter of 94 centimeters and the length of 29. So the first thing that I'll do is understand that I clearly read the word perimeter, and I also am given the length, which is 29. So I got some things I can work with. So I'm going to plug things into the right places. I have my perimeter formula. Again, specifically for a rectangle, we take double the length and double the width together. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug in, again, exactly into the right places. The perimeter was 94. So I'll plug 94 in for the perimeter. Again, nowhere else. Nowhere else. And then here we have the length given to us is 29. So 2 times 29. Let's get rid of that little speck there. And then from here we have plus 2w. So to find the width here, this is a question of simply plugging in and solving the right way. So here we have 2 multiplied by 29. Once we do 2 times 29, that's going to give us 58. So we have 58. And then from here, what we're going to do is get the w by itself. So I'm going to have to get rid of the 58 and get rid of the 2. To get rid of the 58, I'm going to simply subtract 58 from both sides. Once I do that, on the left and the right sides, booyah right there, cancels out. And then we have 94 minus 58, which is going to be what, my party people? 36. So we have 36 equals 2w. And so once we divide both sides by 2, to get rid of that 2 on the 2w, we're good to go. We're good to go because 36 divided by 2 is 18, making our width 18 centimeters. And that is answer choice B.